Victorian London, a city shrouded in fear. The fog hung heavy in the air. It clung to the gaslights, casting an eerie glow upon the cobblestone streets of London. The year was 1888. Queen Victoria reigned. Beneath the veneer of empire, a darkness stirred in the heart of Whitechapel. A killer stalked the night. He was known only as Jack the Ripper. The Whitechapel district was a place of stark contrasts. Opulence and poverty existed side by side. Mansions cast long shadows upon overcrowded slums. It was a breeding ground for vice and despair. The Ripper's victims, all women, were drawn from this underbelly of society. Their lives, often marked by hardship and misfortune, were brutally cut short. The murders sent shockwaves through the city. Fear was palpable. The police seemed powerless to stop the carnage. Each new victim brought a fresh wave of terror. The newspapers were filled with lurid details and speculation. Countless theories abound. The passage of time has only deepened the enigma. At the heart of one of the most controversial theories surrounding Jack the Ripper lies a tale of royal scandal. This theory centers around Prince Albert Victor, grandson of Queen Victoria and second in line to the throne. Handsome and charming, Prince Albert Victor, or Eddie as he was known, was the epitome of privilege. However, rumors of a darker side to the prince circulated among the whispers of high society. It is alleged that Prince Albert Victor entered into a secret marriage with a common shopgirl named Annie Elizabeth Crook. This union, deemed unacceptable by the royal family, produced a child. The existence of an illegitimate heir posed a grave threat to the monarchy. The potential scandal threatened to undermine the very foundations of the British Empire. Desperate measures were needed to contain the situation. The theory posits that a conspiracy was hatched within the highest echelons of power. The Ripper's first victim, Mary Ann Nichols, was found murdered on August 31, 1888. Her throat had been slashed and her body was mutilated. The brutality of the crime shocked even the most hardened police officers. The newspapers, eager for a sensational story, dubbed the unknown assailant Jack the Ripper. The murders continued with chilling regularity. Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes and Mary Jane Kelly all fell victim to the Ripper's blade. Each murder was more gruesome than the last. The killer seemed to relish in the infliction of pain. Panic gripped the city. Women were afraid to walk the streets alone, especially at night. The police presence in Whitechapel was increased, but the Ripper always seemed to be one step ahead. He moved like a phantom, striking quickly and disappearing into the labyrinthine streets. Then, as suddenly as it began, it stopped. The mystery of his identity and motives remained. The alleged conspiracy to cover up Prince Albert Victor's secret marriage and child involved a web of powerful individuals. At the center of this web was Sir William Gull, the Queen's own physician. Gull, a man of considerable influence, is believed to have been tasked with silencing Annie Crook and any other potential witnesses. According to the theory, Annie Crook, deemed a liability to the Crown, was committed to a mental asylum. It is here that she allegedly underwent a lobotomy, a brutal surgical procedure intended to silence her permanently. Other individuals connected to Annie Crook met with equally grim fates. Mary Jane Kelly, the Ripper's final victim, is believed to have been a former friend of Annie's and privy to the secret marriage. The conspiracy, if true, demonstrates the lengths to which the powerful were willing to go to protect their secrets. Section 5. The Masonic Connection Symbols of a Sinister Plot. Adding another layer of intrigue to the Jack the Ripper case are the alleged Masonic connections. Theorists point to the presence of Masonic symbolism at the crime scenes as evidence of a deeper conspiracy. The Masons, a secretive fraternal organization, have long been linked to conspiracy theories, often portrayed as wielding hidden influence and power. Some believe that the Ripper's victims were chosen specifically because of their connection to Freemasonry. The mutilations inflicted upon the victims, particularly the removal of organs, have been interpreted as ritualistic killings. Sir William Gull, the Queen's physician implicated in the conspiracy, was himself a Freemason. While the Masonic connection remains highly speculative, it adds a further layer of complexity to an already enigmatic case. Section 6. Sir William Gull, the Royal Physician and the Ripper. Sir William Gull, the Queen's physician, remains a central figure in the royal conspiracy theory surrounding Jack the Ripper. His position within the royal household, coupled with his alleged Masonic ties, has made him a prime suspect in the eyes of many. Gull's medical expertise, particularly his knowledge of anatomy, has been cited as evidence supporting his potential involvement in the murders. According to the theory, Gull was tasked with silencing Annie Crook and any other potential witnesses to Prince Albert Victor's secret marriage. His position as the Queen's physician granted him access to resources and individuals that would have been invaluable in carrying out such a task. Gull's alleged motive was to protect the crown and maintain the social order. The theory suggests that Gull, driven by a misguided sense of loyalty to the crown, took it upon himself to eliminate the threats posed by Annie Crook and her associates. While there is no direct evidence linking Gull to the Ripper murders, his alleged involvement remains a tantalizing possibility. Section 7. A compromised investigation, the police and the cover-up. The police investigation into the Jack the Ripper murders was plagued by problems from the outset. The Whitechapel district, with its overcrowded slums and labyrinthine streets, proved a difficult terrain for investigators. The Ripper's ability to blend into the shadows and disappear after each murder only added to the challenge. However, some argue that the police investigation was deliberately hampered by those in power. The theory suggests that orders came down from the highest levels of government to hinder the investigation and protect the Crown's reputation. Evidence was allegedly suppressed, witnesses intimidated, and potential leads ignored. The police, under pressure to apprehend the killer, but also bound by orders to protect the monarchy, found themselves caught in an impossible situation. The Ripper, emboldened by their lack of progress, continued his reign of terror. The alleged police cover-up, if true, represents a gross miscarriage of justice. Section 8. The media's role perpetuating the official narrative. The Jack the Ripper murders sent shockwaves through Victorian society, captivating the public imagination and fueling a media frenzy. Newspapers, eager for a sensational story, published lurid details of the crimes, often embellishing facts and fueling speculation. The Ripper became a macabre celebrity, his crimes a source of both horror and fascination. However, some argue that the media, rather than objectively reporting on the murders, played a role in perpetuating the official narrative and covering up the truth. The theory suggests that newspapers, either through direct pressure from the authorities or a desire to protect the establishment, downplayed or ignored evidence that contradicted the official line. The media's focus on the gruesome details of the murders, while neglecting to thoroughly investigate the potential for a conspiracy, served to distract the public from the possibility of high-level involvement. The media's role in the Jack the Ripper case highlights the power of the press to shape public perception and influence the course of justice. Section 9. The enduring mystery, power, secrets, and the quest for truth. The Jack the Ripper murders continue to fascinate and horrify more than a century after they occurred. The identity of the killer, the motives behind the crimes, and the possibility of a conspiracy remain subjects of intense debate and speculation. The case stands as a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most civilized society. The royal conspiracy theory, while lacking definitive proof, offers a compelling explanation for the murders and the alleged cover-up. It highlights the lengths to which power will go to protect itself, and the ease with which inconvenient truths can be buried. The Jack the Ripper case in many ways transcends the boundaries of a simple murder mystery. It has become a cultural touchstone, a symbol of the enduring allure of unsolved crimes and the human fascination with the dark side of history.